phenomenal individual. I would like to present to some and introduce to others, Charles the General Watson.
How's everybody doing today?
All right.
Man, hey, first I had to give it back to the sheriff for bringing me up here. You know, she's done a phenomenal job. She's one of the top leader in the company and her organization. I'm kind of disappointed in her though. You know, I mean, I'm disappointed. She said a lot of good things about me. You know, but she didn't talk about my education. You know, I went to Yale University.
Oh, wow.
I know I get that. I received an honorary doctorate degree in female philology. There's no such thing as that. And I did not attend Yale University, okay? So, okay. No, we like to have fun, you know. We like to have fun because we want to make sure that not only just having fun, but we're taking care of a lot of people. But when I first seen this, what I'm going to introduce to you guys today, I wasn't having this kind of fun when I was first introduced to it. You know, a good friend of mine, one of my best friends, introduced me to this concept, the sanitary napkin. You ladies understand exactly what I'm talking about. But I wasn't too fun coming from a man. So ladies, you may be saying, well, why a man doing this? Well, after the demonstration, I knew I had some women in my life that I had to protect. And I knew that I would do anything that I possibly could, even standing in front of you, talking about the sanitary napkin. But at that time, you know, my mind was half open. It's been said that most, powerful thing that a person can own is a closed mind. It only works when it's open. Just think about a parachute, only works when it's open. Well, my mind was half open and half closed. It was half open because I had respect for Mr. Devon Crocker. It was half closed because I was thinking about what my friend would think about me. This guy, retired from the military, pushing soldier to pushing past. That was going through my mind. What would they think about me? Because I wasn't that type of person would do that. I would try anything and I would make the best of it, but past just wasn't one of it. So as Mr. Crump, proceed on with the demonstration, I'm just sitting there and saying, man, what I'm doing here? You know, this guy here is literally going to mess up his career. And I was blown away. And the first thing you notice later, and one of the things he talks about, the first thing you notice with this sanitary napkin. Thin, right? Come on, lady. I know this. It's thin. Come on. No, but when he said that, I said, okay, maybe he owned something. But then a guy that never had to experience this, never had to use this, I didn't know where he was going with the sanitary napkin. And then he proceeded on to talk about the comforts of the sanitary napkin. You notice how small it is. Not only small, I want some of you ladies to feel this, the texture of it. Is it rough, soft? Young lady, it's rough, soft? Okay. So I began to take notice of the things that happen. But we have been consulted with doctors. What we found out, ladies, when you ladies are having your flow, you discharge anywhere between 15 to 50 milliliters. Some more, some less. I know some of you ladies go, nah, I'm gonna have the flow. Well, the average, about 15 to 50 milliliters. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pour 50 milliliters into this cup right here. And I just need one person to verify, because you guys may say, this guy from Atlanta, Georgia, he coming here with some hokey pokey stuff, and I don't believe him. So is that 50?
Yes. Okay,
I'm going to pour this 50 milliliters of water on this sanitary napkin. Now keep in mind, like I said, my mind was still half closed, and when I seen Mr. Crump doing this, I started to get up and walk away. Because I could not understand why this gentleman was pouring water on a sanitary napkin, because I didn't know. But what I found out as talking to ladies as we travel around the country, your lady would do anything to be comfortable and dry. Comfortable and dry. What you are currently using, what we call the film absorbing system. Supposed to be 8 to 10 hours, meaning that it's supposed to hold you 8 to 10 hours. Ladies, has that ever happened to you?
No.
1 hour? 2? So it's a failed absorbing system. And this is what our ladies have been facing with for so many years, because they didn't have a choice. And what that led to, things such as irritation, rashes, things of that nature. You're raw during that time of the month. What I found out that, you ladies be having yeast infections. Being a man, something is out of my lane. I never knew things like this. You know, from the age of 12 and a half to 50 plus. You ladies are going through this, you know, this time of your life. Can't you imagine having a flow for 10 days out of every month from the age of 12 and a half to 50 plus? And when I seen that, I started thinking about my daughters. I started thinking about grandkids, starting off with a good habit versus a bad habit, because I want them to be dry and comfortable. See, we in you ladies' world. See, we know what happened. When you look laughing now, you're flowing. You know, when you're coughing, you're flowing. You know, or when you stand up, you're flowing. Ladies, when you sit down, all the toxins that are designed to be away from your body to go to an absorbent system that's supposed to absorb it, locks it in place, is sitting there and causing issues. What I'm going to do, I'm going to have the young lady come here for me, okay? Can you stand up, please? Now, how many milliliters we pour here? 50 milliliters? Okay. So what I want you to do in the middle of it, just press in the middle of it. Okay? Good. Push up. It's dry. It's dry. And when I seen this, I knew we had a game change thing. And what I did at that point, I decided to stand up and say, you know what? I need to take notice of this. This is something that affecting our women, especially the ladies that I love the most. See, understand, my wife, my daughter, grandkids, those are my jewels. I will do anything that I can to protect my jewels. Fellas, you should be in the same position. Protect your jewels. We're supposed to protect our women. Why? Because without them, it wouldn't be none of us. That's why I'm on the mission, to do everything that we possibly can to protect our jewels. As we begin to wrap up, I'm going to pour this cup, half full, cup of water, okay? And what we're going to do, we're going to show you guys the makeup of the Jewel sanitary napkin. Now, a lot of people say, don't try this at home. I encourage you, with what you're using now, try it at home. And you let us know the outcome of what you're trying, okay? The outer layer, if you notice, it has holes in it. Why is that? Because it's allowed you ladies to breathe. See, keep in mind, when she pressed down on this, it was dry. That means that the absorbent system, the Jewel sanitary napkin, has performed, has done its job. Meaning, it sucks it in, locked it in place, so the lady can be comfortable and dry. Okay? So I want to take our absorbent system, and I want to put it in a cup of water, to have a cup of water that I have right here, ladies and gentlemen. Keep in mind, how much I poured? 50 milliliters, right?
Yep.
Half a cup of water, right?
Yep.
Okay? I'm going to put this in the absorbent system, and I'm going to step around here and show you the external of our sanitary napkin. The little holes, if you look, that allow this to breathe. If you look at the one that you're currently using, if you haven't switched to Jewel sanitary napkin, okay, what you will find out that at the bottom of it is plastic. Why would you bake yourself with something that has been recycled? Newspaper, things of that nature, trash, in a plastic bag. It's a cooking bomb. Yeah, that's a very important phone call. Tell them come on over here so they can see this right here. Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it. You're okay, dear. Okay, how long would you say this cup of water been sitting here? See, lady, you don't have to be long to be strong. We get it in and we get it on. How long would you say it's been here? 2 or 3 minutes? Okay. Can't get a drop. Can't get a drop. Mr. Chamber.
Yes.
Get it right now. Can you see it?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Can't get a drop. Take it a step further. Sometimes people think we're playing tricks. They don't believe it's possible. If you feel this, young lady, what you feel that it's cool. And it's designed that way because we know during that time of month, ladies, what happens? Young ladies are hot. Your body temperature increase. It's like a cooling system. It cools you in place. Okay? As we begin to wrap up, we have one more component that we must talk about. Ladies, not only that we have the most dry and comfortable sanitary napkin in the world, a superior product, but we was able to get a Nobel Prize winner technology infused into our sanitary napkin that calls graphene. Graphene has been recognized as the new wonder material of the world. Graphene, they are coming out with graphene paint. They paint the wall. When you walk in the room, it will illuminate. When you walk out, guess what happened? It dim. When I get back, man, I'm gonna call in Georgia Power and tell them, turn my power off. I don't need it. Graphene, coming out with water to purify water. They're figuring out all kinds of ways to use graphene. I was at a summit, a graphene summit on Capitol Hill about a month and a half ago. I was blown away with what I found out. I found out at this summit that graphene is 100,000 times thinner than a human hair. Not only 100,000 times thinner than a human hair, but it's also 200 times stronger as steel. And you may say, well, Charles, you know, what graphene had to do with this right here? What graphene had to do with sanitary napkin? You know, graphene is always alive. Like I stated about the paint that's coming out. You don't have to generate electricity, you know, through some type of power source. Waterfall, dams, and things of that nature, windmill, generate energy, would you agree? It's always alive with graphene. What I'm going to do, I'm going to prove something to you. This is a 7-watt light bulb, okay? It's not a 40-watt, so don't try this at home with a 40-watt. What I want to do, I want to bring this infused strip of graphene and let the young lady right here touch it right quick. How you doing, ma'am? Okay, you okay?
Yeah.
It's wet, right? It's wet. It's okay? Okay, your hair looking good.
Thank you.
So it's not standing up, right?
Huh?
Your hair, it's not standing up by touching this, right?
No.
Okay. Ma'am, you okay? Okay? Good? Okay, you good? Okay. As everyone knows, they touch this infused strip graphene. Anywhere graphene sensitive energy, things happen. 7-watt light bulb. No energy on the table. Energy is infused into our strip. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the future. We have taken a new technology, a Nobel Peace Prize award-winning technology, infused into a sanitary napkin. In fact, we're the only one to introduce this technology to North America. Not only North American, we're the only minority-owned company to introduce it to the world. You're not living in the future. And like I said, you don't have to be long to be strong. My job is done. Do anyone have any questions?
Would you say, what was the graphene?
Yes, ma'am.
You're saying graphene is part of the sanitary napkin, right?
It's infused into
It's
the strip.
infused
Yes.
into the
Into the
absorbing
graphene
part,
strip.
the part that's absorbing?
Yes, it's infused into the strip, which lays on the absorbing portion of it. Like I said, graphene is 100,000 times thinner than the hair on your head.
What is it comprised of?
Carbon. It's extracted from a graphite. Okay.
Organic,
Say again?
organic, or
Yeah, that's.
Yes, yeah, it's carbon based. You know, I mean, just think of it this way.
Anything carbon based is organic.
There you go.
We're made of carbon.
You even breathe out carbon dioxide. Any more questions? Great question. Yes, ma'am.
It's not really a question, but do you have any products on hand? I just wanted to see the difference.
Absolutely.
And a
Absolutely.
penny shield compared to the any of the packs. I just wanted to see the penny shield.
The panel liners?
Penny,
Okay. This is our reverberation. Okay, here's the panel liners. Okay, 30 in the pack.
Penny, can you open one?
I
Yes,
have,
I can.
yes, sir. She has one in the back.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
This is the moderate flow. You know, some lady call it a day. It's 8 in the pack. I'm sorry, 10 in the pack. This here is your heavy flow, which is the night, 8 in the pack. And your super heavy flow, which is the overnight, 7 in the pack. Okay? And it all is infused with the graphene strip.
So can you go into more detail of the benefits of the graphene?
I'm glad you asked that. I'm glad you asked that. Well, here's the benefit of graphene. You know, it helps, you know, with your metabolism. A lot of people stressing out. You know, we can't make no claim mitigates anything, but based on testimony and research, these are the things that the benefit. Not only that, dysmenorrhea, abdominal cramps, heavy abdominal cramps. We've been getting testimony from the ladies that their cramps has been minimized or gone. Graphene is a 99.9% bacteria killer. In other words, when bacteria makes its way down the vicinity, it cuts us in half. Okay, it cannot coexist, you know, with graphene. We've been finding out from the ladies that have been eliminating the odor. Well, odor come from where? They come from bacteria. When your sanitary napkin is soaking wet, it creates bacteria. Just imagine a wall that is soaking wet from the water, eventually gonna create mold. Those are things that potentially happen. Okay? Also, hormone secretion. So it has a lot of benefit that are associated with the lady's body and graphene. Great question. Any more questions? Yes, ma'am.
I want a little more understanding about how the metabolism part of it, piece that the graphene does, how does that, you know, the infusion of the graphene incorporate inside the body?
Well, just keep in mind, we can't make, you know, any claim, we can't say, you know, what it would do to an individual, because everybody's body is different, okay? But just based on testimony that we're receiving, you know, because this has the energy that, you know, with graphene, it's always alive, and you know, your metabolism is always, when you got energy, your metabolism is up. So with that being infused, what we've been finding out for the women's, their metabolism have been high. You know, those are the testimony that we're receiving. But we can't say that it will do this for you because your body's different from someone else. Okay? But what we can say, try the product and then give us your testimony.
Is it safe to say also that using the product is, because it's like an electric product, is it safe to say it's comparable to someone who eats electric, to eating electric foods, like comparable, like alkaline?
Yes, I'm an alkaline person.
You are?
Yeah. But it's no known side effects.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
graphene. So there's no known side effects.
Yeah, I know that, yeah. But just like try to explain it to people,
Yeah.
because I just kind
I mean, it's no known side
I'm
effects.
using it and I'm excited.
Yeah. I mean, that's the best way to explain it, you know. It's no known side effect, you know, it's a natural sanitary napkin compared to what you're using right now on the market. What I typically do with people, I say, well, you know, research what you're wearing. And you will be appalled to the things that you find out, that the makeup of it, and you know, the things that they're doing with sanitary napkin, tampon, you know, you'd be blown away. You know, people use tampon for convenience. You know, but tampon is a very harmful to our ladies. You know, you have ladies and actually you can research yourself dying from tampon. You know, I mean, TSS, toxic shock syndrome. You know, tampon is designed to plug something that's supposed to be a natural flow to eliminate the toxin away from your body. And when the toxin eliminates away from your body, if it's on something that is not absorbing, which is the sanitary napkin, you know, the 10 hours supposed to absorb your toxin away from your body, you know, it is not happening. So that means there's an issue with what you got. And not only that, research the makeup of it, you know, how they make the sanitary napkin, you know, not only that, tampon, you will be blown away.
Do you have an online presence?
I didn't hear you.
Online
Do you
present.
have a website?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We have a Just for Our Jewel website.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. That's our campaign
Okay.
website. And the person that invites you, they have their own personal website.
And so you order from the website?
You will order from the person that actually invited you. They have, this is a campaign. It talks about the campaign. They educate the young ladies on the things that happen, you know, with the sanitary napkin and tampon industry. And we talks about, you know, not only providing a, you know, a education platform, but also providing a solution. And we talks about it amongst our campaign. But our campaign, you can sign up there this information, but the person that invited you, they would give you their website, and you can go to their website for additional information as far as that signing up, or should I say, personal product.
So I wanted to know, are there any studies that have been done on this subject?
Well, as far as graphene,
No, as far as sanitary napkins as a whole and what they do to people and what they can.
well, looking at it from this perspective, why would that industry want to do a study? You know, when they generate billions. See, what we've been finding out is through our research, you know, it ties in. See, what we finding out is that tampon, you know, sanitary napkin, chemical that make you bleed more. Why is that? So you can use more, you can wear more. Ask yourself this question here. You know, if it's a 10-hour sanitary napkin, why they setting you 36? You only need 2 for the day. But you ladies just answered that question, said you never used to. You know, some ladies 8, 10 times a day. You know. So what you, in other words, they cut in hand. So why would I want to talk about a solution when on the other hand, I can provide you with a medication that when you use this right here causing these issues, now you got to use the medication. So I would not cut this hand out if I'm gonna tell you this right here about a solution, then I'm cutting my hand off. So you probably never hear that. In fact, you know, they've been pushing this, trying to force the company to put on their packs what's in their sanitary napkin. It doesn't require the FDA approval.
So where does the pain play into this? What is the other sanitary napkins doing that cause you to have pain, or is that the cause, or is that one of the causes?
Well, I mean, just based on, you know, research, and not only that, consulting with our OGYN doctors, physician, what we're finding out is that it causes a lot of issues. Let me give you an example. When you're cramping, mean you're contracting. Okay? You're contracting. That means it's not relaxing. And if you research the makeup, you will find out that when you add a chemical to something and you put that chemical into your bloodstream, or whatever the case may be, it will cause other issues. Okay? Which could possibly cause those cramping, which could possibly cause other things such as hysterectomy. My wife, she had a hysterectomy at the age of 35. You know,
35.
And it's based on research and things that we're seeing that could be possibly related to what she's been using for so many years. Keep in mind, the average young lady come on her cycle between the age of 12 and a half, and they go past 50 years old. So you're talking about that young lady having a cycle 12 and a half years old, okay, which may go 10 days. Every month for the next 30 years, she experienced so bad habit. And that's going to come up over time by using something that is chemicalized, you know, that's creating these issues. You know, how do I know that it's chemical? Well, of course, the research. But if I had one here, I can pour this cup of water right here. Sanitary napkin on the market, they're clear, they're white. Take the absorbent system out, put it in the water, in about 10 minutes or less, it will dingy. It will look brown.
Brown.
You notice with this one here, was still pure white.
Yeah, still.
So if it's dingy, that means the chemical that's coming out, where is it going? If it's not absorbent, where could it possibly be going? What could be the issue that this could be possibly causing our ladies? My goal is to make sure that the ladies is aware. Whether they want to continue using what's on the market, that's up to them. But we want to make sure that they're aware that they do have a choice. They have a better choice. Because before then, before now, they only had one choice. It's what's on the market. Without researching, not realizing what is happening to our women. CDC did a study last year. Over 600,000 hysterectomies were performed last year. 70% of those hysterectomies performed was just like you. Over 400,000 young ladies went up under the night looking like you, African American. They're alone is alarming to me. Good question. Any more questions?
Now, how was the testing done? You had a chemist working with this, or what company? I mean, that did the testing and whatever. I mean, you had to make this.
Well, the manufacturer, actually.
Yeah, the manufacturers, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, actually, the Nobel Prize winner faced it, that they wanted the Nobel Prize in. You know, anytime a Nobel Prize is given, it's given for humanitarian, it's not given for anything that can harm your body.
I was just telling her that this product is great in New York, because you know how New York is.
Hot.
Yeah.
You can't get to the bathroom in time, and you know, it's just a big mess.
Now, one of the things that we have done, ma'am, we filed for the certification for the FDA approved, even though it doesn't require a FDA requirement for sanitary napkin because it's a non-medical device. It doesn't require that for them to put what's on the sanitary napkin on it. But we did apply. In fact, the manufacturers FDA approved manufactured for our product. So we applied for the certification. It's just a matter of getting the certification saying, yes, we are good to go to market. But not to market, we can do that, but just to give us more credibility as it relates to the product itself. Any more questions?
Are there taxes on the product?
Say again.
Taxes on the product? Tax.
Tax on the product?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I can't answer
Say
that
that.
question because, you know, different states is different.
Okay.
You know, Georgia charges tax, Florida, they
Okay.
don't. So I couldn't answer that question.
Yeah.
Okay, any more questions?
Connecticut don't.
Go ahead, dear.
What watt was that again? 7 watts?
7 watt light bulb, so low wattage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. If you run your hand hard enough, you know, you generate electricity.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually light your hand.
Yes, okay.
You know, you rub it hard enough.
Well, we have here somebody giving a testimonial.
Do we have any testimony here?
Well, I just mentioned my daughter. My daughter's just turned, well, she's 16, and the youngest one, she's actually 12, and she just had her first time on, you know, the product, and she loves it. I mean, she's been using it, and it's been keeping her dry, and I don't have to worry about accidents, and, you know, all the time. That's the main thing, messing up the clothes. So it actually works, and the 16-year-old, she loves it as well too. So,
Well, one of the things that we did, you know, with the product, we actually did a feasibility study, and we had 50 women doing this feasibility study, and we wanted to make sure that everything was right before we put it on the market, because the previous one had some issues, and you know, being that I'm, you know, military, you know, we always do an assessment, you know, anything that went wrong or went right, how to do it right and do it over. Where we did that for feasibility, we found out that the lady was talking about it wasn't long enough, so we made it long enough. It wasn't wide enough, we made it wide enough. Then it wasn't strong enough, so we add more adhesive up on the bottom to make it strong. Not only that, we put the bumper guards on for you later. Yeah, you know, they have bumper guards, you know, so we decided to put bumper guards because we wanted to make sure during the feasibility study that we was able to make sure that we take care of the ladies. And any issues as it relates to that, you know, we always looking to improve. And that's where we are right now. Yes, ma'am.
I have this question, but I just want to say, I really thank God for the product, and sometimes when new things come out,
Yeah.
you know, we have so many questions, and we're so against everything, and we just go to the store and buy whatever. No
Correct.
questions asked.
Correct.
But I'm one of those women that had a hysterectomy, and I'm one of the women before the hysterectomy, I had a flow that was for years like a river, that I had to actually, I would find myself wearing 4 pads at a time, 8 pads, sometimes I would a pamper on with a pad the flow was just like tremendous. And I had endometriosis. My doctor suggested I had a hysterectomy as a precaution because my mother even thought I was like, my mother here thought I was like hemorrhaging to death. So I'm so glad that men came out with this product because I have a daughter, and the same with her cramps is just out of this world. And she has a daughter who's 10 who just started her flow. She's in North Carolina. She can't wait for her package. I joined up with the company. You know, as soon as a friend of mine told me about it, I'm waiting on my case. I ordered the most expensive case you have because I'm just so excited. And I just really thank God that we finally have something that can help us. Finally.
And like you said before, that's one of the problems that when you bring something new to any market, you know, people always scrutinize it. And that's not nothing, you know, under the sun. That happens because it's something new. And when you got something new, sometimes it has to go through a sequence of cycle in order for them to validate it, you know. And I hate to say it, but they would not research what they're currently wearing, but they quickly to tell, you know, something that can benefit them. You know, that's why I always say, hey, research what you're currently wearing or what you used to wear. You know, what you want to continue that, you know, generation, you know, with your young ladies, and then pass that on, that bad habit on to them. You tell me I got something to keep me dry and comfortable during that time of the month, and it's been impossible to shorten that flow. Hands down, ladies, what? I want that. Or do you want to continue being wet and uncomfortable? You have a choice. Before you didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Before you had only one choice. You can plug it, or you can continue being wet and dry. Wet and uncomfortable. Now you do have a choice. And that's the beauty of it, because now we're giving our latest choice, because like I said, the number 400,000 young ladies look just like you. Because they didn't have a choice. Because they're going by what they thought was good for their body. They just went and bought it. Okay, this is supposed to, okay, no problem. They got the medication right by the cemetery now. Why would that? Why would you want to put the medication that helps your cramp right by the cemetery now? Because they know you're going to cramp, so it's convenient. I can grab this. No, our ladies shouldn't have to go through that. You shouldn't have to suffer that. It's not normal for a young lady to have a cycle for 20 days, 15 days. That's not normal. It doesn't take long to detoxify your body. But we still continue being subjected to things like this to harming us. Our ladies not realizing what it's going to do to the generation, or what's going to happen. That young lady right here, she's just going to receive the bad habit that her mom had, and it's going to continue going down to the next generation because she don't know. That's why this campaign is so powerful, because now we're able to educate the young lady and men. That's why you heard me, I said at the beginning, I have an honorary doctorate degree in female philology. That's something I created. Yeah, don't steal it. Female philology, okay? I'm an expert in female flow. Ology, biology, huh? That's me. You know, but we have to make sure that the ladies, of course, they know what was going on. Hey man, how Janet doing? Man, she tripping. Oh, at that time of the month, yeah, man. You know, that's just the code, because we didn't know what you lady was going through. I never knew what my wife. Only thing I knew at the end of the month, 10 days, my wife, I was gonna catch hell. That's all I knew. Not knowing the reason why, what was causing those things to happen. And what we finding out for these ladies, you know, how they're not having those issues, they're not giving it. I'm happy. I bet you every man that experienced that, they are happy.
Yep. I call it PMS.
Yes, because
PMS. That time of the month, PMS. Pack my suitcase.
Because when you let us suffer, guess what? We're suffering too. We're not experiencing what you're going through, or we're suffering because we hate to see what you're going through, and there's nothing we can do about it. Now it's something we can't do about it. We can educate the young lady
Yep.
about the Just My Jewel campaign.
Amen.
And with that, any more?
I'm sorry, I do have a question.
Go ahead,
Sorry,
girl.
I want to ask you, because we're so used to, using so many sanitary napkins during that time. The, you have the, what is it, everyday pack, whatever?
This is a modern floor.
The moderate flow, how many come in there, 6?
10.
10. The question is, why is there only so little? We're so used to like
Yeah.
using the whole
yeah,
pack.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
yeah.
so when I seen it, I was like, I wonder where there's only a little bit in it.
That goes to what I talked about earlier. You know, the label said 10 hours, but it's 36 in the pack. Because they anticipate you using all 36 of them. Because you're flowing more.
Right.
Well, what we finding out that the ladies actually using the product, these are their testimony. Like I said, it may not happen for you, okay, because your body makeup, it is varied.
Right.
But the testimony that we're receiving that the ladies' flow has been declining. Some ladies saying their flow went from 10 to 5, from 5 to 3 days. So if you're not, flowing that much, then you don't need as much.
Right.
And it's convenient for your everyday. How does it look when you got 36 coming around with you, and you have something this small, the pack look good, beautiful about the other black one. I be like this in front of the camera. They said, man, what's wrong with that dude? That dude got sanitary now, don't walk with cheap. Huh? Why? Because I'm happy. I'm proud that it's a solution about beautiful women. And if I had to do that to get the message across, guess what? I'm willing to do it. That's why it lasts in the back. Any more questions? If not, we can take, I guess, a 10-minute break, and we can do a little training before I head back to the ATL. No, I'm not heading back tonight. But we can do a little training. We can talk about profit sharing, and not only that, for those that just want to hang around. Because one thing we don't want to do, we don't want to keep you here as long as you have to be here. But those that want to hang around and understanding more on where we're going, you may have some questions that pertain to the company or the direction that we're going, or you may have more questions that pertain to the profit sharing, which is one of my favorite subjects to talk about, because I believe that, if you're a part of this movement, you definitely need to be educated on the profit sharing. Okay. So with that, Ms. Loback, I appreciate you inviting me out. Anyone that have any question, or for those of you that came out as guests, get back with that person that invited you out. Okay? Let that person know, hey, whether you want to be a part of the movement, you definitely want to purchase the product. You cannot leave here knowing what you know right now, equipped with the knowledge you know right now, and not purchase the product for at least someone that you love the most. Someone that you love the most, because you not using it, you experience some issues, are no longer experiencing the issue, it's someone in your life. And as a man, it's plenty of ladies in my life that I make sure they use this product. And with that, just go back, we're done. Take a 10-minute break so we can start some training. Okay.